everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimale here in Abuja. Let's tell you that some development in Rivers State, is escalating, and the situation, as we're breaking it for you right here on Channels Television, some of the information coming in says that the Rivers State High Court in Port Harcourt has granted an interim injunction restraining the pro-Wike Speaker of the House of Assembly, Mr. Martin Amauli, and 25 other members from parading themselves as legislators. The interim injunction was filed by the pro-Fubara Speaker, Victor Okojumbo, and 3 other Assembly members loyal to the state governor. The APC has been reacting to some of the developments in the state. The party has pinned the crisis rocking the Rivers State and the actions of Governor Sim Fubara. And the party says his action is fueling the call for his impeachment. In a statement signed by the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Mr. Felix Moka, the party dismissed Governor Fubara's claim that a Martin Amaole-led group of lawmakers at the State House of Assembly are non-existent. Tonight, we'll be looking into some other issues away from Rivers State. If you carry drugs in Nigeria, you may be sentenced to death. That's a capital punishment. I mean, that means if that bill or the amendment bill of the NDLA goes through to the very end. Then, of course, we'll be dissecting all of these issues, plus what is happening under the President Tinubu administration. And, of course, we will bring you up to speed with what the Trade Union Congress is planning. They have threatened that they will give the government a showdown if they do not withdraw the Cybersecurity Levy. Are they just threatening without any possibility of action? We'll be hearing from the President on the update on their plans as we enter into a new week. Stay with me, everyone, and let's start you with some of your political roundup stories.
President Bola Tinubu has conferred the second highest honor of the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger on the Awujale and paramount ruler of Ijebu land, Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetona, for his selfless leadership to Nigerian humanity. This was communicated by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, who represented him during the commissioning of the Oba Adetona School of Governance Studies at Goiwoye, Ijebu North local government area of the state. Justice Emeka Nwite of the Federal High Court Abuja has granted the application by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for the former governor of Kogi, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, to appear in court for his trial. In his ruling, the judge held that even if the arrest warrant was obtained improperly, Mr. Bello should have still shown up in court. Counsel to Mr. Bello also assured the court that efforts will be made to contact the ex-governor to appear in court at the next adjourned date. Members of the Edo State Labour Party executive have reclaimed the party's secretariat and condemned the alleged dissolution of his executive by members who they maintain are under suspension. The spokesperson of the Labour Party in Edo State, Mr. Sam Uropa, also alleged that the purported dissolution of the executive was sponsored by the opposition party. The Rivers State House of Assembly has written to the Inspector General of Police and the Director General of the State Security Service over the political situation in the state. The Speaker made this known at plenary earlier today as they played host to the 23 local government area chairmen in the state, who were at the Assembly to report the Governor to the House over the non-release of funds meant for the local government areas. Ahead of the local government council elections in Yobe State, the Inter-Party Advisory Committee in the state is asking the Yobe State Independent Electoral Commission to shun partisan politics and discharge its duties as enshrined by law. The chairman of IPAC, Umar Adamu Gajere, while addressing journalists in Damaturu, asked all political parties to ensure they present candidates for the election. British Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle are in Nigeria as part of his promotion of the Invictus Games, the sporting event he founded for wounded military veterans, and they have equally visited Kaduna State, where they were received by Governor Uba Sani. The visitors were presented with gifts and thereafter got decorated with traditional Hausa attires.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. We're still keeping our eyes on the cybersecurity levy and some of the reactions that are coming in. Of course, we do know that the Trade Union Congress is one of the very major bodies in the country that have come out to react to the directive of the Central Bank of Nigeria directing banks to start implementation, which of course they say in that directive that it will begin in 2 weeks. And of course, we saw what the TUC said and the threat they showed. And part of what the TUC said is that if it is not withdrawn, there will be a protest, nationwide protest by members of the TU, of the organized labor. And secondly, they will shut down the Nigerian economy. That is a major threat. Let's get an update to what is happening in that respect. The president of the Trade Union Congress, Mr. Festus Osifo, joins us virtually. Thank you so much, Mr. Osifo, for joining us tonight.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sheung. Good evening to you and good evening, viewers.
When your body, that was a statement signed by your office that you've threatened that there will be a nationwide protest. But since that threat and since that directive, since Monday, nothing has been heard from the federal government side. If we know anything about government, it does look like sometimes they go ahead with their plans anyways. Although they gave 2 weeks, that means there's still about a week or more days left for the implementation of that directive. But are you still going ahead with your threat?
Yes, Sheung. What happened with the circular as circulated early this week? It was really shocking to us because Sheung, as you are aware, and as succinctly put in that particular in the particular release that we did from the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, really. You see, as of today, Nigerians are completely disgruntled. Sheung, you could realize that the inflation level in Nigeria today, yes, we have the inflation level as reported by the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. Yes, a lot of bodies are also questioning the rationale behind those inflation figures. We know the cost of living crisis that we are facing today in Nigeria, most especially exacerbated by the devaluation of Naira. We all understand how difficult things are today. Sheung, the minimum wage today in Nigeria is somewhere in the neighborhood of $20 per month, not per hour, not per week, but per month. It is really difficult. It is really excruciating. So amidst all these, you are bringing a policy that you are taxing Nigerians much more. For us, cybercrime, cybersecurity should be curbed. Government should curb cybercrime. Government should curb cybersecurity. It is okay. But don't now inflict pain on Nigerians by asking Nigerians to pay for it. Pay for it with what? With their sweat? We have been battling with this government regarding fuel subsidy removal, with this government regarding electricity tariff increment, with this government regarding virtually everything. Because as an import-dependent nation, when you devalue your currency, you are touching fundamentally on every item. Both goods and services has risen. They've gone up in the last 1 year. Then on top of this, you are also bringing this needless levy. This levy is really needless. Government can go and search for money anywhere. I mean, today we have the crude oil theft in Niger Delta. If government, for example, add additional 100,000 barrels to that, they will be able to get money to solve issues like this. They shouldn't bother Nigerians at all. And really, with the statement that we have issued, it's very clear. If this is not withdrawn, if this burden is transferred to Nigerians, at the end of the day, we are going to make good our threat because the Nigerian man is tired. An average Nigerian citizen, we are tired of this burden. We are tired of these extra taxes, of this extra levy. We just want to breathe.
You, in that statement, also berated the National Assembly. Of course, a lot of Nigerians are so disappointed with the crop of our lawmakers. How can that kind of law go through? I've asked a lot of people who are doing some kind of civil society jobs around the National Assembly activities. They said they never got to know when that amendment took place. It's an amendment that happened this year. It was an initial law of 2015 amended this year. when it happened, a lot of people will say this is a midnight surreptitious Nicodemus activity of the National Assembly. Something of this magnitude, and Nigerians are not aware. You berated them in your statement. You said they colluded with elements in the executive to exploit the citizens of Nigeria. There are a lot of people who are now asking, if you go on social media, they are saying that the lawmakers should then go to the National Assembly because they are the representatives of the people, and also picket the National Assembly. Is that up to that?
Yes, you are very correct, Shehu. I mean, it was explicitly captured in our press release. Because the National Assembly ought to be the protector of the common man. If you look at the National Assembly today, this is the first time that we are having a National Assembly that had almost about 7 different political parties. So the question that we have asked is that where are the opposition parties in the National Assembly? Where are the PDP members? Where are the Labour Party members? Where are the NNPP members? Where are they? Even if the ruling party today wants to suffocate Nigerians, where are the oppositions? You hear nothing from them. I mean, it is really that bad. So this kind of attitude where bills like this, we don't see it in the newspaper that there's no public hearing. We don't hear any advertisement in major television channels that there's going to be public hearing. What are they doing with the budget to National Assembly? When you are having such bill, when you are about to amend such bills, you write to various stakeholders. You come to the media, both the print media and the major electronic media, you do an advertisement for people to turn up, for people to come. But really, just as the civil society said, we in Labour, we were also bamboozled by this because we were never invited. We did not even know. In fact, for us, we have liaison officers in National Assembly that do report some of these things to us, but they only report what they know or what they have heard of. So that is why we call out the National Assembly. We want to remind them that they are the people's house. We want to remind them that is their function to protect individuals. Yes, we heard yesterday what they said from the House of Reps. But the question is that even these companies, why will you keep tasking them? Today, these companies, their profits, they pay, taxes to government, they contribute to the ETS, they contribute to a lot of levies. You are actually suffocating them. Government, for us, they can expand the revenue collection base. Today, we are running government at all level is relatively lazy because today, we all know that as a country, we are blessed with both human resources, material resources, as well as mineral resources. Across every local government in Nigeria, you have mineral resources in it. What are they doing with it? Today, crude oil theft in Niger Delta, they are almost about 400 to 500 1,000 barrels per day are being siphoned. What are we doing about them?
All right.
So the things government must do to be able to generate more revenue and deploy some to cybercrime, not by suffocating individuals, not by suffocating the citizens or suffocating businesses.
TUC President, so you and your members, you are resolute that there will still be a showdown with the federal government if they do not go back on that plan. Is the position right now?
Yes, correct. If at the end of the day, if they go ahead to implement the plan, we are going to mobilize. And we are going to mobilize, and that mobilization will lead to protest, it will lead to strike. We are going to mobilize the entire Nigerians because Nigerians, we cannot continuously pay from our nose. And with revenues, or rather with salaries that are meager. Today, Shehu, you could recall as well that a professor today earns just above 400,000 naira. That is less than $300. A professor in Nigeria. Can you imagine that? Then you are saying that when this person transfers money from Zenith Bank, for example, to GT Bank to support his family members who need support, then you will not tax such money. He will pay additional levy. In addition to the stamp duty that he's paying, in addition to the VAT on transfer duty, in addition to the transfer fee, in addition to the maintenance, account maintenance,
President,
ATM card maintenance, it is just suffocating.
Finally, you and the NLC have said you've given NERC an ultimatum to reverse the increased electricity tariff. If you can give us an update on your plans, you gave them just about till Sunday. you gave them a 7-day ultimatum and that they should go back on the hike in electricity tariff. Give us an update on that too.
Yes, Shehu. If you remember, when NAC came and increased those within band A to 225, yes, they've reduced it a bit again. After that ultimatum, they've reduced it back to 206 or thereabout. For us, that is not sufficient. Because some of the questions that we have asked, you said that you are supplying some areas band A. So if I now go and purchase band A, then at the end, I load it in my meter and I don't have light for 1 week, then what is going to happen? Are you going to declassify? There are a lot of questions that are unanswered. Normally, if you look at the act setting up NEC, it was clearly stated that before such increment will come, there's going to be stakeholder engagement. The labor movement is part of the stakeholder. In that sector, NLC and TUC, we have affiliates. NLC has NUI, TUC has CIEC. In that particular sector, there was no engagement whatsoever. So all we have said is that you must follow the law that you have signed. You must follow the law as prescribed by National Assembly, because there was no stakeholder engagement. So for us, they have to go back and do the needful.
All right.
There must be stakeholder engagement. We must sit down and have conversation. And if that doesn't happen, Asheru, when that ultimatum expires on Sunday, then Nigerians are going to hear from us, because we will define our next line of action early next week.
And there are those who are saying that, look, and I'm charging you, TUC president, and your friend, your colleague in the NLC, that those perhaps maybe where the protest should begin is at the National Assembly. When you stop the 360 members of the House of Reps and the 109 members of the Senate who proposed and amended this law that Nigerians are crying about, maybe they can feel just about the pains that some Nigerians are feeling. Now, those who are saying these laws are passed, they are laws, and they are passed by the representatives of the people. I think the labor leaders should take the pain out on the so-called representatives of the people, don't you think? I must thank you, Mr. Festus Osifo, president of the TUC, for your time tonight.
Thank you so much, Shehu. Thank you for having me.
We switch gears now and talk about what happened yesterday on the floor of the Senate, where there's an approval for the death penalty for dealers and importers of cocaine, heroin, and other hard drugs into the country. The proposed capital punishment also applies to manufacturing, trafficking, dealing in, or delivery of hard drugs by any means. The Senate arrived at a resolution on the floor of the Red Chamber after deliberations on the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act Amendment Bill 2024. The maximum punishment in the extant law for offender is life imprisonment. It was Senator Aline Dume who brought that up, and Senator Adams Oshiomhole raised his hand to shoot it down. But of course, the Deputy Senate President, who was sitting in as the presiding officer, shot it down, and he passed the third reading. If he goes through to the very end and centered by the president, that means anybody who is being caught and found guilty of these offenses by our court will have to go through the death penalty as punishment. Let me speak with the man who brought that up on the floor of the Senate today. Senator Aline Dume is the chief whip of the Senate. He's live here with me in our studio. Thank you so much, Senator, for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. A lot of Nigerians, before we get into the death penalty part, are not happy with you and your colleagues. I don't know how you feel when you hear the agitation about the levy upon levies and the tariff and upon tariff, based on the fact that the value of the naira is not what it used to be. You heard what the TUC president said there.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I've been an advocate of looking at those that we govern or we represent, that is the people of the country. With these levies, taxes. And you remember, even the communication service tax, I fought that. It's only that I didn't succeed. You cannot be loading taxes on people where you are not increasing their income, or their source of income is not, you are not widening it, or you are not increasing it. So I'm not part of those that support levy anyhow.
But you were there when they passed that law.
I'm coming.
The amendment.
I will give you all that. The amendment to cybercrime, I'm a senator. You know, I supported it, but not the nitty-gritty. And I'm not trying to run away from any blame. We have issues with cybercrime, you know that. And there is a need for the government to improve on the Cybercrime Act. That is what I understand by the amendment. I did not, and most of our colleagues, you know, all the laws are not perfect. And I take blame where I have to. Looking at the nitty-gritty would have been the responsibility of interested parties. I heard the TUC president now, and that's where, you know, when you are standing on your own fault, you don't see you only see the other man's fault. In every law that we pass in the National Assembly, first, there must be public hearing. And that public hearing, there is a law or this procedure you must publicize in the radio, print, media, and that is going to be public hearing. Why were they? And part of it is, if you get a copy, you bring your submission, or you come to the public hearing and hear and analyze and look at it with eagle eye. He is supposed to, or his representative is supposed to be there to look at the interests of the people he is talking about now. And as I told you, if I had known that there is an issue where the cost will be transferred to a customer or a Nigerian, I would not agree.
Senator, you know why I'm a bit...
Now, let me land.
Just a moment.
Please.
You know the reason why...
Let me land.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Please. That is why you have the civil society organizations. That's why you have the labor itself. That's why you have the TUC. It is not all about we, the lawmakers. And let me add here that for me, for example, I am in the APC. I'm the chief whip. I'm supporting I'm supposed to be supporting the policies of APC government. But you can see severally, if the APC government, or even Mr. President, who I'm close to, you know, detached from doing the right thing, I'll come here and even speak about it. So this thing is not something that we just come to TV and be shouting, you know, like that.
Senator, let me ask you quickly. Let me ask you. Can you remember when the Cybercrime Act was amended?
Yes.
When was it?
This year.
Yes, it was. I mean, it's 2024.
Yeah,
amendment.
This year, but I can't remember the dates here.
That is problem. That's the problem. You know why?
No,
the
that's
problem?
That's your even problem.
Just hold on, Senator. I know
we have started
those.
Again.
No, Senator.
We're
having a conversation now.
Wait, are you here to interrogate me or to interview me?
No, I'm interviewing you and I'm asking a question.
Please interview me. Don't interrogate me.
Senator,
I told you.
Would you allow me to ask you a question?
No, I will not answer your question.
Allow me to ask the question, Senator.
No, don't allow. I will answer your question, but I will not answer or subject myself to any interrogation because I didn't come for interrogation. I came for interview.
Now, today you're starting with a defense, Senator. But the question I wanted to ask is, there are reporters, colleagues of mine, that have asked to look at their archives, to look their notes, and remind us, because I am a political journalist, and this is what I do every day. Maybe I missed it. What about those who report to the National Assembly every day? I've asked several of our friends who are in the civil society who monitor daily and have staff who sit in the National Assembly every day. They cannot remember when this amendment happened. And the question is that, how come this was so quiet, so silent, that a lot of Nigerians... Because, Senator, the reason why I invited you was I watched your debate on the floor. And I was interested in what was going on your mind when you raised the death penalty, when that bill was going on. I remember the salaries, wages amendment bill that went on. There are several amendments that we are aware of, that we monitor. Why is this one the one that a lot of Nigerians cannot even remember? No, and it happened, we were just in May.
Yeah, but let me tell you, no bill, I repeat 3 times, no bill will be passed without going through the due process. None.
I'm afraid this may be...
No. If it is, now I'll tell you. How about Sheung? You know, I won't come here and lie to you. It's not part of my character. No bill. You can say that there are maybe People did not look at this cybercrime something as something that will go that way even. Now that they say Levy, and I had the figures, then I say, wow, what? And people reacted. And you could see the reaction of even from the House of Rep and even my colleagues.
You see that this is not, you think that this is not in the interest of Nigerians, don't you think?
The cybercrime, what is wrong there is the levy. But the cybercrime is in the interest of Nigeria. But why asking me to pay for what you are supposed to do? Cybercrime is part of crime, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And the responsibility of government is to protect people from crime. Why do they have to pay for it?
So it's ill-timed, isn't it?
Yeah, that is number one. No, to me, let me put it here on record. It's not, it's something that I need to look at it again. Why would you add another burden onto a Nigerian? I will not support that. I don't. And as I told you, I take it. If I had known that there was anything that has to do with placing additional burden on a Nigerian, I will not support it. Now, the House of Rep and the National Assembly is saying, oh, you are asking Nigerians to pay for that again? No, wait a minute, stop that first. And that's the position. Stop that too. Then that circular that you issued is confusing. Now, we are saying levy. Who is going to pay the levy? Is it the bank, or is it the government, or the citizens? Why would I take my money to the bank and then pay for protecting that money?
They've said it in directive.
No, they said it now.
That it will be charged on the customer.
That's
and
now,
it will be with the bank, and the bank will have to,
wait, now, that's where the problem is. Shehu, please, whenever we come to do interview, allow me to talk so that we will help Nigerians to understand some of this. I'm against this.
I disagree on this one. That's why you think you are...
I'm totally against what I call the bank or financial cartel. I said it here before, existing in this country. Besides this one now, there are a lot of charges on me in my account. I've even stopped counting. They will charge me for...
SMS?
Not SMS. SMS, I use it now.
No. SMS alert. You know, when bank give you alert or your...
they will charge me for that. They will charge me for turnover. They will charge
online transaction.
In fact, I've lost the number of charges. Now they are going to bring another charge again. I'm against that. And do you know what? There is not even accountability for all these charges. There's no account. So that is another big problem that Nigerians are facing. Big one. Because there are financial cartel in this country colluding with banks. And then they are placing some things on Nigerians. So, like now, if you withdraw a check, you transfer money to they will charge you 52 naira. And then the person that is receiving the money, will charge him 15. You can count the number of transactions in a day or even in 1 hour in this country where we are moving through to cashless society. But you now, you want to transfer 10,000 to me, they take away 52,000 from you. You say, but if you go and sit down, I'm looking at and look at these charges now. I have commissioned somebody to add it for me. In a year, how much does the bank charge me? But there is a serious need to look at these charges holistically. And who is supposed to be charged?
Yeah. Senator, let's take a breather, because the main reason why I invited you is why you want Nigeria to kill those who are being caught for drugs. But we take a breather and you tell me more about it after this break, everyone. Jonathan. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. Senator Ali Ndume is still with us here, and we're looking at the proposition of the death penalty. It's past the third reading in the NDLA Act Amendment Bill of 2024. Senator, why do you think that capital punishment, which is the maximum punishment, should be meted out on anyone who is caught or of trading or using the drug, heroin, cocaine, and the rest?
Number one, the importers or exporters or dealers in hard drugs kill more people than even the bandits or terrorists. And in fact, these terrorists, bandits, kill under mostly the influence of drugs. So you have to nip it in the bud. We have in the previous act, life sentence. It did not deter. I want Nigerians to understand that Ndume is not proposing that you should just go and kill all the drug dealers. No. Death sentence should be a deterrent. And anybody that involves in such criminality means that he's ready to die for it. So if he's killed, it's not a big deal. And the earlier we do something, you can imagine what drugs has done to Nigerian youths and even the country as a whole, the image of Nigerians.
So you look at other countries like China,
yes,
Saudi Arabia.
China, Saudi Arabia, Taiwan, Bangladesh, name it, many.
Is it working for them?
It's working, it's working. If you go to the prisons now in Indonesia, China, where the drug, those that are waiting for their death sentence, that are drug-related crimes, mostly are Nigerians.
Well, the human rights...
If you go to Ethiopia here,
the human
which one
rights
is human rights?
No, hold on, Senator. The human rights body, just hold
Which one is human rights body? Please, I don't want to talk about
They
that.
propose...
What of the human rights of those people that they are killing? What of the right of those people that they are killing? Don't go there, please. Talk about the right thing, not to human rights. Who this human rights that you are talking, who gave them the mandate?
But this is not...
Wait now, I'm the lawyer, I'm a senator, I have the right. People elected me to make laws, and you are talking about human rights. All these people that will go and open office and say they are human rights, fighting the rights of people. What of the right of the people that are being killed? The drug is killing our youths. The drug is killing our society. The drugs is giving our country bad name, and you are saying human rights. Maybe they are drug dealers too. Anybody that is supporting criminality is a criminal.
I'm saying that the death penalty, there is a global advocacy against the use of death penalty as a deterrent or as a punishment.
No, even in America there is death penalty.
There is a moratorium.
Even in America right now, they are killing, there's death penalty. It has not been, some states.
There was a moratorium on the use of death penalty.
No.
It was a global advocacy.
No, I'm telling you,
law.
Don't tell me what you don't know. Death penalty is applicable in America right now.
I'm saying there is a moratorium.
Which one is moratorium?
Moratorium is hold on the use because there are advocacy globally.
Which one advocacy?
About
these are promoters of criminality. They are promoters of criminality.
You think that death penalty will actually be a good deterrent?
Yes, it's the best deterrent. If you don't go and do drugs, nobody will kill you. If you go and do drugs, you are killing people. In fact, you have killed, mostly, that means you have destroyed the life of many people, killed so many people. So if they kill you, you are only one. And you are saving these people that would have died because of what you are doing.
There are those who will say there is a kind of offense that is common to the political elite, which is corruption.
Yeah.
Why are we not using the death penalty?
Let me tell you, point blank, if death penalty is supposed to be included in corruption too, I will support it. But you don't go, somebody that stole 1 million, you go and kill him, and then somebody that stole 1 billion, you go and kill him. No, but I'm in support of saying you have progressive. If you steal 1 billion, maybe you go to life imprisonment or imprisonment for 20 years. I support that. But if you go and steal, like some people are hearing 1 trillion and government's money, that means you have deprived so many people. No, that person should be killed.
So we should start thinking about that.
That too. But let's start with the drugs because it's the most important one. And then if the politicians or public servants or whoever is engaged in corruption, no, corruption is they kill people now. This Bangladesh recently sentenced a woman, a bank manager, who is to start for the financial criminals, that are causing dollar to go up, that are doing, what do they call it, money laundering within them, the banks, that are charging people anyhow, and then they are not accounting for that people. Before you come to us politicians, I know that is the direction you are going. We politicians, even if you call us anything, if you compare us to all the corruption, our own is a very small one. Our corruption is people-driven. You steal all the money, you go and share it with the people. If you don't, you are not coming back after 4 years.
So that's the reason why most of you steal the money?
No. Some will go and keep it. There's no reason for stealing. I've been in the National Assembly. I can't say, people will not look at it on the TV now and say, I'm a clean person. No. I have to say the truth.
So, Senator, if you look at it, Senator Adams Oshiomhole opposed it.
No.
What do you think about his?
No, I don't want to talk about
comment.
What position he has the right to for.
No,
his
no.
position.
That's a position. That's a debate. Is it? You know,
He didn't debate it now. Let me tell you what happened. I moved for the amendment, and it was seconded immediately by my deputy. And most of our members, and let me tell you, even initially from the committee, I'm not part of the committee, but majority of the committee members that sat to do that report suggested that death sentence. Somewhere along the way, finally, they brought the report so that the committee in the whole of the whole will decide. And we said, I supported I moved for the motion for the amendment, and then it was seconded, and they put into vote, and it was accepted. If Adam Oshiomhole wanted really to stand against what I said, he would have called for division immediately. That is the tradition in the Senate. He didn't do that. It was after he passed. That was why the presiding officer said it's too late, because you had the opportunity to call for division so that those that are against will stand on one side, and then those that are in favor should stand on one side, and you physically count the number of us to know who is against, then you arrive at the number.
The death penalty that you are proposing, which it was amended, was actually a section 11 of course, of the original bill that, the act which you're trying to. So this is the old law, which a lot of people might be conversant with. But the maximum penalty in the old law, Senator, is about 25 years.
No. That is the older one.
That's what I'm.
That is old one. That's the first amendment. The second amendment, which we are considering now, was life imprisonment.
For dealing,
for importing, dealing, selling hard drugs, specified, heroin, cocaine. Is there one drug they call SLD or what again?
There's one. There's other one in the classes of all of those all of those drugs. Yes, I'll get it. Please.
Those are the they call it dangerous drugs or hard drugs. Those are the ones that carried life.
LSD.
LSD. It calls in the last amendment. I think the one you are looking at is the 20.
This is 2023, 2003 rather.
2000.
I think that is.
There is 2004. There is this one 2023.
I think there's a 2003. No, there's a 2003.
2000. But this one is the latest now, which we are amending. It recommended life imprisonment. And also, let me add one thing. In the same amendment which we supported, we reduced the sentence for users from 15 years maximum to 5 years maximum. And why we did that, or I supported that, is that I'm supporting death sentence for importers or exporters, but I'm not supporting even life imprisonment or any imprisonment that is exceeding 5 years for users. Why I was thinking that way and my colleagues supported it is, if you give somebody a maximum of 5 years, that is you are rehabilitating that person. When you send him to prison, that is no longer prison, it's called correctional center. Then the person will mean, ordinarily, he will not have a chance to have access to drugs. In 2 years, he will be completely rehabilitated. And that is because from what I'm hearing, I did a lot of work on it. They have various rehab centers now. That is very common because the drug problem is becoming a menace in our society.
Especially for the young ones.
Yes. So they take them to rehab centers, spend 6 months or 1 year, and then when they come back again, you don't go back to it. So why don't you put that person in prison for 3, 4, 5 years, depending on what the doctors or experts feel that person, because that will help the judge to determine the sentence. If you put a young man in prison for 3 years and he comes out a person and he gives him the chance to look at deep down and rehabilitate himself, you are doing the society good. But now what we are facing in this country, you know, is dangerous. So somebody killed his father in Kano under the influence drug. Somebody shot, stabbed his pregnant wife in Edo under the influence of drugs. Somebody jumped from second floor under the influence of drug because he said the lift was not coming, fast enough.
There are those who will say, Senator, that some of the drugs classified there, heroin, cocaine, LSD, and the rest, that in fact, those are even too expensive for some people.
Poor people.
Yeah.
And they are not manufactured here, and they are not grown here.
Absolutely.
So that means you see the elites are involved.
Yeah. So there are other misuse of drugs, like codeine, like other medications that are gotten over the counter. What do you think about it? If those
ones are simple, and NDLE. First of all, let me say we have somebody very serious in NDLE, retired General Buba Marwa. If the government on the law, that is why we support this law. If you give him good law and support, he will do it. He will clean this country in the next 5-10 years. It's not something that is overnight. This in America, besides Panadol, even that, it's not easy. You don't go over the counter to buy all these drugs that you would.
Don't even go too far. Go to Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
But Nigeria, at every corner that you get to, you see one small
chemist, you can buy every drug.
Anything
yes. Recently, I went to Saudi Arabia. I had small malaria. I couldn't get the drug.
Because it's well controlled.
Yes. And then they said,
lives are being destroyed by the misuse of drugs.
Let me tell you now. I called my friend, a doctor in Nigeria. He said, go and buy Zenat. I went there. They said, no, you have to go and get prescription from doctor. Recently. So I had to go to hospital.
There needs to be, I don't know what the Minister of Health, NAFDAC, and some other agencies are going to be doing about over-the-counter drugs that have become a menace, that people just arbitrarily use and misuse these drugs, and it's destroying a lot of lives. People become so addicted to some of these drugs, and they cannot get away from them. And it's destroying people's lives.
In fact, it's even destroying our hospitals. Most of us don't want to go to hospital to see a doctor again. If you feel headache, you go and buy the drug you prescribe for yourself. You don't want to wait, you don't have the time to go and see the doctor. And maybe you have headache now, you don't know that it is more than headache. Maybe it's just something for another disease. Instead of going to doctor, because you know that you can go to health medics and just say,
So, Senator, this law still has, the amendment still has about 1.5 lap to go. There is a fourth reading, and there is a presidential assent. Do you see this actually going successfully?
Yeah, inshallah. You know why I'm here? It's a kind of campaign that Nigerians should support my amendment.
So when I called you, you were very anxious.
Yeah, I was very anxious to come.
You wanted to
Otherwise,
come.
I don't want to come and sit down here with you. Come and start interrogating me.
Because I'm always very, very... you and your colleagues within the political class, you need to do more for the Nigerian people.
Of course.
And that's why I would like to ask you, President Bola Tinubu is going to be 1 year in office. Do you think Nigerian people are happy with your government?
No, they are not, because we are taking tough decisions. And normally when you take tough decisions, there are consequences to it. And that's what the president is dealing with it. I commend him for being able to take bold decisions. But then we have more to do with getting Nigerians to carry Nigerians, looking at the consequences of the decisions taken. I have issues with some of the decisions taken. Nigerians are in support of this government. They are in support of removal of fuel subsidy, for example. But not adequate preparation was made to cushion the effect of such subsidy removal. And we have seen, and the backlash of it is more on the government. But one good thing, as I still say, if my perception or my thinking about the president changes, I will come here and say it.
Senator,
But wait now. The president is in the office for only 1 year. 1 year now. He celebrated it. I still want to appeal to Nigerians to give Mr. President chance. And this is a listening president, reactive. Anytime you should make suggestions as to how to move this country forward. don't concentrate on just criticizing or what do I even call it, dismissing. The government has taken some bold decisions. And I can see the good intent up to now. It's going to be painful. But the biggest, my biggest disagreement is that when you take a decision that has to do with the masses, you must or you should take cognizance of the consequences or the effect of that on the masses. Like when palliative was introduced, that was a short-term intervention. But then there should be medium-term and long-term, as I said.
Yeah.
Like introducing food stamp, doing this. And interestingly, I found out that this government, now going forward, I think the president will, or we in the National Assembly, I'll push for it.
Thank you so much, Senator. We need to go. Well, you do know me. I say that it is, if we see in the media here, especially right on China's television, if the government is doing something that is right, we will help the government. But if the government is, unfortunately, the Constitution gives us a very tough job to say, and doesn't make us look good, and we don't want to look good if we are doing our jobs. It says we should hold the government accountable for the interests of the Nigerian people. And if Nigerians are happy, we will all be happy.
But
thank you, Senator.
No. Let me say something.
We are totally out of time.
No. You said something. I have the right to.
You don't have to say it.
You are not in support of this government. You have a mindset about the government of Tinubu. If you change your mindset, it's better because you are journalists. You are self and Arise Television.
Senator,
they don't like APC. That's the truth.
I can only laugh, Senator, but your position is totally wrong.
No, it's leave Nigerians to judge that.
I'm a Nigerian, don't forget. Am I a Chadian or a Nigerian?
The China's television don't like APC, and we understand. So we come and explain to you.
Your position is totally
wrong. But you are
wrong.
better than...
we are on the side of the Nigerian
You are
people.
better than Arise.
Senator Ali Ndume, Chief Whip of the Senate, thank you so much indeed. Albeit your position is totally wrong about China's television. We are on the side of people. We do our job professionally, and that's why we are here, for the interest of the Nigerian people. That's how we close the program tonight. Thank you so much. I'll see you on Sunday, 8 p.m. God bless Nigeria.